Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing all right. Guys, give me just a few minutes of your time, and I'm going to convince you to never deviate from your trading system. Now, right before we get into it, I'm going to throw in a quick disclaimer, a quick scam alert right here. Guys, I choose 5 students to mentor every mentorship session. And the only way you get an opportunity to possibly be in one of those students is through the link in the description. I will never DM you. I will never message you. If there's an account with a similar name to mine, similar profile picture, that is not me. A lot of people are falling for it. That is not me. I will never DM you first. I will never do that. The only way to apply is through the link in the description. That's it. Traders usually deviate from their trading systems for a multitude of reasons. One of them being a desire to feel unique, a fear of confusion, a desire for pride, and a desire for progress. I'm going to be introducing each and every one of those points, and I'm going to offer you the solution to eliminate those desires so you stop deviating from your trading system. I do believe that desire for pride will be the most important one, the most impactful one, so bear with me here until we get there. So let's get right into it. Desire to feel unique. Let's start with the desire to feel unique. It is the most boring one. It's a common thing, but it's very boring, and therefore I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining it. Here's the thing, guys. Right now, if you want to take any trade, you can win in 2 different ways, okay? You can either win because you stuck to your trading system, so you just followed your trading plan and you want to trade, or you can win because you didn't stick to your trading system. So you maybe took a random trade, lucky trade, you maybe moved your stop loss, you intervened, basically market was running and you removed your stop loss, and then the market came back and hit your TP and you were like, yes, I removed my stop loss and it worked out. So you can win as a result of not sticking to your trading system. Basically, right here, if you win because you stuck to your trading system, that feels boring and normal. You stuck to your trading system and you got a winning trade. Even a dumbass can stick to his trading system. It's not that special, right? However, if you win because you didn't stick to your trading system, because you sensed the markets and intuitively figured out what's going to happen, so you removed your stop loss, let's say, because you intuitively sensed that the market is going to come back in your direction, and it did come back in your direction. Therefore, this right here feels unique and smart. You feel smart, you feel like a genius. I sensed what's going to happen, like Spider-Man. I sensed what's going to happen in the markets, and I acted upon my sensations, and I was correct. I have a complex genius mind. And therefore, winning as a result of not sticking to your trading system feels, in a fucked up way, superior to winning as a result of sticking to your trading system. That's one of the reasons why the majority of people deviate from their trading systems, because it feels unique, it feels smart, you feel like a genius. Now, reality is, guys, this is not unique at all. That's what you need to understand. You desire feeling unique, but this is not unique at all. The thing is, 95% of traders fail. Why? Because 95% of traders are trying to feel unique. And since everyone is trying to feel unique, by not sticking to their trading system, then 95% of people are not sticking to their trading systems and are deviating from it. It means that is the average thing to do. Since 95% of people do it. It is not the unique thing to do. It is the average thing to do. So you're not unique at all. The sense of uniqueness, of genius, no, you're not unique. Everyone is doing the same thing that you're doing right now. Everyone is not sticking to their trading systems for a sense of genius. And therefore, you're just doing the average thing. You're part of the 95% that is failing. Doing the average thing. Now, here's the thing. Only 5% of people are doing the boring thing of sticking to their trading systems religiously. And therefore, that is the unique thing. Right there. The unique thing is sticking to your trading system religiously. The average thing that everyone does and thinks it's unique, it's not sticking to your trading system. That is the average thing. And therefore, it's okay to desire uniqueness. It's okay to desire feeling smart, feeling like a genius, feeling unique. But the thing is, what you define as unique, which is this thing right there, is the average thing. So you're only messing up what you define as unique. If you want to really be unique, if you really want to be intelligence, a sign of intelligence is doing what only 5% of people are doing, which is the unique thing of sticking to your trading system religiously and never deviating from it. As I said, that is the most boring part of the video. However, it has to be said because it's one of the reasons why people deviate from their trading systems. Now, we're going to get into the more interesting part, at least for me. Maybe you guys disagree and you like this part a lot more, but let's get right into it. So in the desire to feel unique, you're basically aiming for average, but you're calling it unique, and that is the mistake that you guys are doing. Now, the thing here, let's talk about the fear of confusion. We're going to follow the same process. You can lose in two different ways. Okay, right now you can lose a trade in two different ways. You can lose either because you stuck to your trading system, obviously, or you can lose because you deviated from your trading system, right? Now here's the thing, guys. If you lose because you stuck to your trading system, if you lose because you saw your A+ setup playing out and all the stars aligned, the trade was amazing, yet you still lost, now you will be confused, right? That is the feeling that you will feel. You will be confused. You'll be like, all the stars aligned, the trade was amazing. Why did my A+ setup fail? And you need to study it and learn from it and analyze it. Big process. You feel confused until you solve it. Now, if you lose because you deviated from your trading system, right now, you take a random trade and you lose it. What will you say? You'll be like, I lost because I deviated from my trading system. You already have your reasoning. You're not confused, basically. You're not like, okay, why did this happen? I wonder why I lost. No, you'll be like, I lost because I deviated from my trading system. Quite and simple. So you're not confused and you have something to blame. And therefore, similarly to winning, losing as a result of deviating from your trading system feels superior to losing as a result of sticking to your trading system. And that's also one of the main reasons why people love deviating from their trading systems, because it gives you an excuse to fail. While right here you have no excuse and therefore you get confused as to why you failed. But right there you have a justification. It's ready. I lost because I deviated from my trading system. In order to stick to your trading system, there is no trick right here. In order to stick to your trading system, the only thing that needs to happen in that case is that being confused needs to feel superior to not being confused. So in some fucked up way right now, I will convince you that feeling confused is actually better than not feeling confused, and therefore you will start aiming for that feeling. You will start liking that feeling a lot more than this feeling right here, and as a result you will prefer this path over this one right here. So right now, being not confused feels superior to being confused, and that's why you like this path. Right now I will convince you that feeling confused is superior to this, and therefore you will start liking that path a lot more in your subconscious brain. Now let me go ahead and do that. So I will start by asking you a very boring question right now, which is, have you ever learned any piece of information without getting confused first? When you first walked into the gym and you saw a guy do this motion right there, you were confused. You were like, why the fuck is this guy doing this? And then as a result of this confusion, you asked or researched and figured what this motion is for. He's training his biceps. And therefore the only way you obtain that information is by being confused first. And therefore confusion is a prerequisite to obtaining information. So guys, one of the reasons you're not a millionaire trader right now, let's write down millionaire trader, it's because you lack the information necessary to make you a millionaire trader. Now, since confusion is a prerequisite to information, it means that you lack the confusion necessary to make you a millionaire trader. Now, in other words, it means that you're not a millionaire trader because you haven't been confused enough times. Your lack of confusion is prohibiting you from obtaining the millionaire trader information. When no questions are asked, guys, no answers are received. Now, since confusion is a prerequisite to becoming a millionaire trader, how can you hate the very thing that will carry you to profitability, the very thing that will help you reach your dreams? Being confused, curiosity, is the highest form of emotions. It is the most superior feeling. I love being confused. Maybe right now you're 126 confusions away from reaching your dreams, and therefore if you just get confused a lot more, you'll get to your dreams a lot faster, and therefore it is the highest form of emotion. Everyone should be aiming towards being confused because it is the only way you obtain the information necessary to get you to your goals. You need to lose an A+ setup and you need to be confused and then ask yourself, why did that setup fail? And analyze a batch of losses. And as soon as you ask yourself these questions, you receive the answers necessary to getting you towards your next goal, towards your dreams, towards the things that you're aiming for. Desire for pride. This is going to be interesting right here. Guys, you analyze the charts today, and there is no trades on the charts right now. But you still end up taking a random trade, okay? You still convince yourself that there's a trade there, and you end up taking it. Why? Now, the thing is, put in simple words, you like money. That's it. Money makes you feel proud. If you made money today, you'll feel proud of yourself. And therefore, taking a trade right now, taking a random trade, will give you an opportunity to make money, and therefore an opportunity to feel that pride. And this is what you're chasing. This is the emotional high that you're chasing. Now, the issue right here is that winning a random trade will make you feel pride. Now, you might be like, what's the issue, Roy? Money is money. And however I make it, if I sense the market or if I stick to my system or whatever I do, if the result is I end up making money, I will feel proud because I just made money, because money is money, right? Let's discuss the money is money sentence. Should money make you feel pride however you make it? Now, I'll just convince you really easily right here. Do you feel proud if you inherit money from a dead grandfather? You just gained money, but do you feel proud of that? Do you feel proud when someone gives you a handout? Actually, you might feel some sort of shame right there if someone gives you a handout. So if you receive handout money, you're still getting money, but you would feel shame as a result. So money isn't created equal. The source of that money dictates the emotion that you get to feel. The source will dictate whether you feel pride or whether you feel ashamed of that money that you just received. Now, here's the thing. Making money as a result of sticking to your trading system, as a result of systematic processes, should be a prideful source. And making money as a result of random, unsystematic trades should be a shameful source, should be a source that generates shame. Now, why and how do we achieve that? Let's discuss this. How do I make you feel shame if you take a random trade and you still end up winning? And how do I make you feel pride if you just take a systematic trade? How do I make that difference right there? Let's discuss that, and let me change the way that you feel about things and the way that you think. I will explain this quite easily, guys. It is my duty as a man to protect my family, to limit the risk that my family is exposed to. And one of the ways that I do that is by building something that I call an acceptable worst case scenario. What is an acceptable worst case scenario? Is an acceptable worst case scenario right now me going to my wife and telling her, hey, listen, I just blew all my money. I blew all my trading accounts. No investor wants to work with me anymore. No pro firm wants to work with me anymore. Of course, that is not an acceptable worst case scenario. That endangers my income and my family's income as a result way too much. Now, would an acceptable worst case scenario be like, okay, this month I'm in a certain drawdown. I'm 3% in drawdown on my account. It's okay. I'll get back from it. That is an acceptable worst case scenario. Now, here's the thing. When you have a specific trading system that you are using for years, or that you studied for years, or that you backtested for years, you can measure the worst case scenario of that system. So therefore, for example, I have a very well-built system. And what I did is I went to the previous years and I measured the biggest losing streak that I ever had. And the biggest losing streak that I ever had, let's say, is 7 trades in a row. Now, that means that if I was risking 2%, it would be a 14% drawdown. If I was risking 1%, it would be a 7% drawdown. So I measured what would be an acceptable worst case scenario, for example, for my investors. If I was working with a certain investor, let's say, and I was down 14% of my account at any point in time, would that be acceptable for my investor? And the answer is no. Most investors, seeing such a huge drawdown, would pull out, would be like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want to work with you anymore. That's such a huge drawdown. That's such a huge loss. And therefore, risking 2% per trade will eventually get me to a point where the worst case scenario would be I'm down 14% and no one wants to work with me anymore, and therefore I lose all my accounts and all that, which, as I said, is not an acceptable worst case scenario for me. Now, therefore, I have decided, you know what, since the worst case scenario is I lose 7 trades in a row, let me risk 0.5% per trade. And as a result of risking 0.5% per trade, my worst case scenario is I go 3.5% in drawdown on my account. Now, is that an acceptable worst case scenario? As I just explained, yes, it is. No investor would feel very emotional about this. No one would run away. No prop firm would take the account away. That is an acceptable worst case scenario. And in order to provide for a family and in order to build a future with a family, you need some sort of security, some sort of safety. And the only way you can attain that in trading, one of the only ways you can attain that in trading, is to build an acceptable worst case scenario. You cannot live your life not knowing what the worst case scenario might be and putting your family in so much danger, because the worst case scenario could be you lose everything tomorrow. That's so much danger to put your family in. So when you have no trading system, or let's say you have a trading system but you deviate from it every now and then part of your trading strategy is you basically sensing the markets, you having an intuition about the markets and trading. So this for you is a trading strategy, okay? Part of it, let's say day on and day off. One day you stick to your trading system and the next day you stick to this. So one day you use a well-built system where the worst case scenario is acceptable, and one other day you use your intuition, your sensation of the markets and all that. Now here's the problem with this. The problem with this is, how do I build a worst case scenario? First of all, you cannot backtest it, okay? Your intuition in the live markets is different from your intuition when backtesting. When live trading, you feel some sort of emotions and all that, which changes the way that you feel at the moment. And here's the thing, intuition is not a defined thing. When you say I sense the market, what does that mean? You got an idea from the gods? It means that you felt something. You felt that the market is going up and you decided that that's what you want to do. Now, what is the source of that feeling? Some people call it intuition. It might be someone said a piece of information yesterday. You were in a cab and the cab driver said, I believe Bitcoin will continue to go up, and you woke up the next day, that's stuck in your memory, stuck in your subconscious, and therefore as you looked at Bitcoin, you were like, I feel that Bitcoin is going to go up. So when people rely on intuition, what is intuition exactly? How do we define it exactly? It's just something, an idea that is in your head. Now, where did that idea come from? We don't know. It could be because you're feeling some sort of emotions. It could be someone said something in front of you yesterday and it got stuck in your brain. It could be today you wake up, let's say, and you have a fight with your wife, and therefore you're feeling angry, and as a result you look at the charts and you're like, fuck it, there is no trades today. But it's only because you're already angry, and therefore you're looking at the charts from a very negative perspective, and you're like, my intuition, my sensations are telling me there is no trades today. And therefore this thing can never be tested, can never be back tested, because it changes every day. One day you're not trading because you're angry and you believe it's your intuition telling you that you shouldn't trade. One day you believe that Bitcoin is going up and you believe your intuition is telling you that Bitcoin is going up, but in reality it's stuck in your subconscious mind because someone said it in front of you yesterday. Maybe you heard it on social media or your cab driver did. So therefore, it changes every day. So therefore, it cannot be backtested because it's different in the live market than it is in the past data. Since you cannot backtest it, you cannot obtain the information necessary for you to build an acceptable worst case scenario. You cannot test it, you cannot build it, you cannot study it. So you cannot build an acceptable worst case scenario. You wouldn't know what it is because it's different every day. So that you're using something different every day. Now you cannot even forward test it, because even forward testing it, maybe in the next 2 months, I'll feel very good and I'll feel very happy and I'll be trading with a happy brain. So my intuition would be a very positive intuition in regards to the markets. Now the months that will come after, maybe a parent of mine will get sick, and as a result, I'll feel a little bit sadder. And as a result, I'll receive different ideas about the markets as a result of this emotion, as a result of this sadness. So you cannot even forward test it and determine the worst case scenario because it also changes every month. And therefore, if you're trading with your intuition, you cannot build an acceptable worst case scenario. Now, since you cannot build an acceptable worst case scenario, it means that every time, guys, you use your intuition and you deviate to that system right here, so from a very well-built system to this system right there, when you deviate to that, you're putting your family in so much danger. You're just pushing them into chaos. You don't know what the worst case scenario might be. You might lose 7 trades in a row. You might lose 8 trades in a row. You might lose 10 trades in a row. You might lose 20 trades in a row. Who knows what the worst case scenario might be, and therefore you cannot protect yourself against it because you have no idea what it is. For me, I protect myself against it by understanding what it is and by creating the risk that is acceptable with that worst case scenario. That's it. For you, you cannot do that. And therefore, you can wake up in 1 month and tell your son that he cannot go to school next year because the worst case scenario just happened, and it just so happened to be that it's worse than you thought because there was no way to actually measure it. So you're putting your family in so much danger, in so much chaos where you can't have any sort of predictability to the future. Is that something to be proud of? Deviating from your trading system and making money and putting them in an unacceptable worst case scenario, is that something to feel pride after it happens? So when you're like, money is money, I just made money. Yeah, the cost of you making this money as a result of deviating from your trading system is putting your family in so much danger and in so much chaos because you can't measure the acceptable worst case scenario. And that right here might be something very sad for your family. That's something to be proud of. You shouldn't feel pride as a result of deviating from your trading system because you're about to tell your kids in a few months that dad is an emotional princess and therefore he couldn't rely on metrics, he couldn't engineer a system, he relied on his emotions and intuition, and he put his family in so much danger. So sorry son, you cannot go to school. We can't stay in this apartment anymore because I put you guys in so much danger. Sorry, maybe we have to skip a meal because I put you guys in so much danger. So no, money is not money. There is a cost to that money. When I make money through my trading system, I'm making money in a way where there's an acceptable worst case scenario. I'm happy about it. But when I make money through my intuition, then I'm making money in a way where the worst case scenario is unacceptable and it's very dangerous for my family. And it's not something that makes me feel pride or happiness. And therefore, this is why your pride should be only linked to protecting your family. That's it. When you protect your family, that's when you should feel proud. If you wake up today and you look at the charts and you're like, you know what, I feel like I want to buy Bitcoin, but I'm not going to do it because my system says no. You're protecting your family against this unknown worst case scenario. Only then should you feel proud. Only then. Otherwise, if you're doing this, there's no pride in it, even if you're making money. So last but not least, guys, let's discuss desire for progress. Here's the thing, guys. You wake up, there's no trades on the charts. However, you still feel like you'd like to enter a trade. The reason why you get that feeling is a desire for progress. Because if you don't participate in the financial markets, if you don't take a trade, then you feel lazy, feel like you haven't done anything today, like you haven't accomplished anything much today. However, if you take a trade, then you feel active, like you're doing something, you're participating in the financial markets, you are progressing and all that. So that's why you'd deviate from your trading system regardless of the fact that no trades are present, and you would just take a trade to feel this progress. Here's the thing, guys. Progress in trading isn't measured by how many trades you take. It is measured by how many bad trades you don't take, as restraining yourself from taking a bad trade is 10 times harder from actually taking that bad trade. So it would only make sense that the harder thing is the actual progress. Therefore, restraint is progress in trading. So all you need to do in regards to desire for progress is just redefine the way you see progress. That's it. The same way we redefined in the beginning of this video what is unique and what is average, and we just changed what is unique and what is average. Now, in that case, we need to do the same thing. Progress is not actively participating in the markets. It's not about how many trades you take and how many times you participated in the markets. Progress is about how many bad trades you didn't take. So you can measure it this way. Okay, I avoided 3-4 bad trades this week. It means I've progressed 3-4 times this week. So how many bad trades you didn't take? Just redefine progress, and this will be solved. It's one of the easiest things to solve, and that would be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.